everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the break that was there. It's like 2 weeks, I think, where I didn't upload content. I tried uploading, but I ran into audio issues with previous recordings, and I just didn't want that on that content on my channel with really poor audio, as I didn't want it to reflect on the kind of content I do. You all know I try to make the best content I can. So we are back, and we're going to be checking out some crazy laws that still exist around the world today. So let's flip over and let's have a look. How many? And I also want you to put down in the comments how many you knew, because I know some of these, because this was a conversation with some of my friends the night before recording this. So yeah, let's have a look.
Thinking about taking a bath with a donkey? Fancy getting drunk in a British pub? Well, think again, as these potentially harmless activities and many more could well land you in trouble with the long arm of the law. Laws of the land that may have made sense when first brought about have a habit of sticking around, even if they have no real place in today's society. Add to those antiquated laws a few newer bizarre rules of the land that have found their way into the law books, and we have a truly bizarre set of world legislation. So what are some of the strangest laws that still remain on the books around the world? That's what we'll find out in this episode of the infographic show, Strange Laws That Still Exist. Great Britain has some of the strangest laws in the world, some of which are broken every day. It is illegal, for example, to be drunk in a pub in the UK. How many?
So that is actually the reason why, if you go out drinking and you go to the pub and you get kicked out for being too intoxicated, this is why, because you're actually breaking the law. And I believe the pub can get fined, like the bar can get fined for that. That's really weird, considering they serve like a lot of alcohol to people, yet you're not allowed to be drunk.
Thousands of Brits break that law every single day. It is also illegal to carry a plank of wood along the pavement, especially, one would imagine, after getting drunk in the pub. Not quite so bizarre is the stipulation that members of Parliament in jolly old England are not allowed to wear a suit of armour in Parliament. But surely this law should have been updated by the lawmakers themselves while in Parliament, no? So,
on top of that Parliament, suit of armour Parliament law, there is actually a law where you're not allowed to, it's against the law and it's illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament. For those American and like non-British people, our Houses of Parliament is kind of like the Congress of America. So like it's where like of the MPs and go to meet on I think it's like a weekly or daily basis. So yeah. Yeah, it's illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament, which I don't know how they're gonna like. How would they arrest you, because you'd be dead, which is really, really odd. But yeah, let's see what the next one is.
No, it is also highly illegal to handle a salmon in suspicious circumstances in England and Wales. And if there is an unsuspicious way to handle freshwater fish out of water, we'd love to see it. It's also
so this is what came up in the conversation the other night with friends. Is how do you handle a salmon suspiciously? Like how do you do that? In what way is holding a fish suspicious? And like we was having this running joke that like me and another friend would test this out, which I don't know if we will, but it'd be quite funny if we did. Like, you know, I get arrested. Why have you been arrested? I handled a salmon suspiciously. You know. Like, fuck, stay back, you know. But yeah, like, it's just ridiculous.
an offense to beat or shake a carpet or rug, except if it's a doormat, before 8 AM in the UK. And if you're an Englander, forget about dining on exotic waterfowl. Unless you happen to be the Queen of England, it is illegal to eat a swan. Should you be pregnant in Britain, it is perfectly legal to spend a penny in a policeman's hat, or in fact, anywhere else should it be an emergency. And
so, for those who don't know what spend a penny means, I think it's Cockney rhyming slang for having a pee. So, like, having a piss, basically. Yet that is actually true, that policemen are actually told that if a woman desperately needs to go to the toilet, that they can take their hat off and let the pregnant woman use it. I've never seen anybody, and I don't know anybody that has, done that. But yeah, that is a thing.
And on a similar note, and on the subject of toilets, up in Scotland, if somebody knocks on your door asking to use the bog, you must, by law, let them inside and offer your bathroom. Also in Scotland,
that's another thing that came up in the conversation with friends, is that if you're in Scotland, you need to use the toilet, and you knock on someone's door, and they say no, like, are you just gonna call the police on them? Like, I'm visiting in Scotland, and I asked to use someone's toilet, and they said no. They're like, oh yeah, we'll be right over. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Bizarrely colorful land of haggis and bagpipes, there may be more to that folktale about Scotsmen and their kilts. Ever wondered what exactly is beneath the famous tartan kilt? Well, according to ancient legend, nothing. No underwear can be worn under the kilt, and according to an old law, or perhaps to be fair, urban legend, if a Scotsman is found to be wearing underwear beneath his kilt, then he is routinely charged 2 beers by whoever discovered his non-commando status. Although we can't confirm the exact legal standing of this law, it is too difficult to resist sharing. The USA also has its fair share of quirky laws. In Arizona, allowing your pet donkey to sleep in the bathtub is against the law. Placing salt on a railway track is
that donkey one, I think it's after 6 or 7 p.m. I looked this up because it came up about in the conversation. It's between, I think it's after 6 or 7 p.m. But who would get that donkey sleep in a bathtub anyway? Like, it's just who does that?
An offense punishable by the death penalty in Birmingham. At first glance, this seems a tad harsh, but the reason is that the train could either derail or attract cattle onto the track, which could also result in a major derailment or at least a delay. So don't go putting salt on the rails, kids. It's also against the law to play a game of frisbee without first acquiring the permission of a lifeguard in Los Angeles, although responsible frisbee throwing is, we are told, permitted. Who can blame the city with all those lawsuits flying around? And what happened to the chicken who crossed the road in Georgia? Its owner got arrested. It is against the law to let your chickens roam around unattended in this state. In Hawaii, it is illegal to work at the same company as your twin brother or sister. We guess this law is in place to avoid workplace confusion as to who is doing what and who has taken the day off. And dog lovers, beware. Unless you have 4 legs and a tail that wags, it's illegal to live in a dog kennel in Idaho, bringing a whole new meaning to sleeping in the doghouse. Perhaps stranger than all these laws, though, is the law in Vermont, whereby women who want false teeth are required by law to first obtain permission from their husband. Quite why this law still exists is totally baffling to us here at the Infographic Show. Perhaps someone can explain this one to us. And then there's the strange legal world of mainland Europe. In Greece, it is illegal to go sightseeing around the ancient ruins wearing high heels, and in France, it is illegal to name your pet pig Napoleon. In Rome, Italy, keeping a lone...
I'm sorry, but who's gonna go round touring ancient ruins where the ground is gonna be uneven in high heels? Like, who in their right mind is gonna do that? And also, the pet pig being called Napoleon, that's a great name for a pig. Like, France, come on, I know he was like one of your, like, historic generals or whatever, but like, come on. Yeah, let's name your pigs Napoleon in France. It should be a what is it? A revolution.
Goldfish in a fishbowl is considered animal cruelty and is against the law, but if you have more than...
I'm sorry, but where are you going to keep the fucking fish? Where are you going to keep the fish if it can't be in a fishbowl?
one in the bowl, that is considered acceptable because, we all know, fish are sociable creatures. Kids in parts of Poland are not allowed to travel outside the house with any Winnie the Pooh memorabilia, including t-shirts, backpacks, or lunchboxes. the cartoon character is considered a non-gender specific inappropriate hermaphrodite without having the decency to wear a pair of pants, and the polls, for some reason, find Winnie's lack of genitalia offensive. This one...
It's a fucking teddy bear! It's a fucking teddy bear! Like... It is a bear. Like... I'm out. What are they going to do about fucking Yogi Bear? All he wears is a hat and a tie. Jesus Christ.
Isn't exactly an ancient law, but was simply too brilliant to leave out of our study of quirky laws. In the Cambodian capital of Phnom Penh, the sale and importation of water pistols is prohibited during New Year festivities. The reason being that a popular way to enjoy the New Year in this part of the world is to take part in a huge water fight, and that, Governor Che Sofara reckons, may lead to social unrest. In Thailand, it is illegal to step on money, and it is also illegal to leave home without wearing underwear. It is also illegal to hold your hand out in tribute to the Hunger Games or to publicly criticize a fellow countryman. In parts of India, if a man is in debt, he can legally offer his wife as a down payment until the debt is settled. In Japan, it is illegal to be fat, with the government setting a maximum waistline of 33.5 inches for men and 35.5 inches for women. In China...
I'm sorry, but I've seen... What about the sumo wrestlers? They're fat. Okay, I've seen plenty of images and videos of fat Japanese people.
China, Buddhist monks are banned from reincarnating unless they have specific government permission. Yes,
I'm sorry, like you don't know when you're gonna die, so like that's baffled me. That one has baffled me.
Asia is a wacky place. In Samoa, it is illegal to forget your wife's birthday. In Australia, it is against the law to disrupt a wedding, an act that is punishable by a fine of $10,000. All in all, across the world, while laws are there to help protect us and keep society functioning as a moral and ethical place, some of the decisions made by lawmakers will keep on baffling us as long as old laws remain and new bizarre rules come into being. So, what's the strangest...
So I will admit, a lot of those rules I did know because they came up in topic with the conversation with my friends the other night. But like, that's just ridiculous in a way. Like, you know, who in their right mind, like, especially that salmon one, like, I really want to test that out because, like, you know, trying to like find a salmon and handle it suspiciously, I really want to know. But yeah, no, I just don't know. It's really funny. I'm gonna admit, it's really funny. And a lot of those rules and laws are ridiculous. But I want to know how many of those you guys knew and how many of those you didn't know. Let me know down in the comments. And I hope to see you again sometime soon. Peace.